be winning, for example. It's not confirmed, but like I say, it puts them in a position where they're in pretty much the best case possible. If they don't win a point here, not the end of the world, but it would help their case for maybe finishing up first in the group as we started off. To the bottom right-hand side, the blue Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion, we have got ByuN. Up against the red Zerg top left-hand side, it's DRG from Team NV. Well, seen a lot of DRG ZVT lately. What I don't like about DRG ZVT, it feels like he really struggles to finish the game. It feels like he gets to a point where he's pretty comfortable, he's having a good time, you know, everything's going alright, and then he just can't actually take an engagement to close the game out, and it just becomes ugly, right? You know, you're running units into your opponent repeatedly, and, you know, a lot of ZVT looks like that, but DRG feels like he struggles so much more often than a lot of the other Zergs do, so do wonder about that a little bit. I wonder if that'll have any effect here today. We have seen some DRG ByuN matches which actually go like 35 minutes or so because, you know, ByuN is just surviving, and then DRG actually does overthrow units at his opponent, and it does all go wrong. So, yeah, definitely a few different possibilities here as we get away through this early game for map number 1. There is a drone scouting on the map. DRG wants to be extremely safe against the potential of a proxy racks. ByuN is building 3 racks. It's just all at home. And it is going to be Reapers. Wow. 3 racks Reaper from ByuN. That's, okay. Okay, then. So 3 racks Reaper from ByuN right now. In we go. And we're just going to go old school ByuN. I mean, we're throwing it back a little bit right here. And that's fascinating to me because that's obviously something which you don't necessarily expect to see nowadays. So let's see how effective this can be from ByuN. Let's see if it can do enough for him. Your main goals here, obviously, harass, slow the Zerg down. One of the main things you can do, obviously, is try and get into denying the third base, right? Because you can keep map control for so long, so you can really keep the third base from going down for a very long time. So that's one thing to definitely watch out for and to expect to happen. I expect that to be a major goal of ByuN's as this gets going. So, yeah, denying that third base and yeah, otherwise just trading well. Obviously, DRG has no idea about it, so that's really good for ByuN as well, because at least this is going to be somewhat of a surprise. And we'll see how well DRG does on the defense. It's one of those things you don't really practice defending against much anymore, because, well, let's face it, you just don't see it much anymore. So that's why it's sometimes good. Like, if someone does this twice in a row to you in a series, the first time you might lose, because you're like, oh, wait, what do I do against this? How's my exact response going to go? And then the second time you usually improve, you're like, oh yeah, I do this and that, you know, you kind of get back in the rhythm of it. So I kind of like it. I don't mind ByuN opening the 2 games with this. I think it's pretty cute as you're just going to be seeing these Reapers, trying to put some pressure on that Queen, taking some shots. And now just falling back a little bit as those Reapers will stay joined up down on the bottom side. Bit of back and forth continuing there. And just seeing the Reapers actually going to drop a grenade down, and that's going to be a Queen. Doesn't quite go down just yet. Low HP, though, as the Reapers continue to get Ling kills, and DRG actually only just started Ling speed, so his Ling speed is pretty late, all things considered here, so that's going to be one thing to definitely slow DRG down. And, yeah, that's going to be rough having to fight with that deficit, as we're going to be seeing a grenade going down, keeping these Queens at bay. ByuN didn't get to stop the third hatchery coming up, right? So this third hatch came in soon enough, and that's why the Ling speed is so late, but you know, this time, yes, you get the third base up, but you're getting the third base up at the cost of not having Ling speed for a very long time. And so you can't exactly use that third base. Maybe you can make a couple units off of it in a Queen. But that's going to be about it, as ByuN doing a good job keeping Reapers alive. 3 more still pouring out. He's got his command center coming up at home. He's not in fear of any sort of counterattack, so he can just put it in position. Doesn't have to do any sort of weird low ground expand. One of those Reapers low HP, but no target fire from DRG initially. And it means that that Reaper will get to live despite being so low on health for so long there. Now Reaper's just going to start picking their way through the third hatchery, and they're going to find the Queen as it spawns, so that's a nice free pickup. 150 minerals just wasted as we continue on the hatch. The Queens are making their way over. The problem is if the Queens come over here, they're going to be backing away off creep spread, so there's not an easy getaway, so I don't even know if I like the Queen showing up here. They will get one Reaper. There's another Reaper very low. There's Reapers must be on the south side as well. That's what the Queens were firing at. Now, Ling's trying to chase. No grenades from ByuN as he does lose another Reaper there. Maybe a grenade could have helped him out in that situation, but in the end, making the most of this and actually taking some reasonable trades, all things considered. 3 Reapers lost in the game. I think ByuN is having a good time because you can see the drone count is pretty much even with the SCV count, so worker count being kept pretty much the same as well, and there's definitely something to be said about that in terms of being in a good position in a matchup like this. Anytime the Terran is equal on workers, you're kind of happy for the Terran player. Now, DRG will hold down that drone button in the near future, and he does have a good amount of army supply, but of course, it's army supply that he built to deal with these Reapers, and he can't exactly use in any other way unless he catches these Reapers completely. ByuN gets too involved. Oh, what a massive mistake from ByuN. This game just flipped on its head. This entire style revolves around keeping the Reapers alive, because now he's got nothing to keep these Lings on the other side of the map. And now he's not going to be safe back at home. This backfires in really an instant, right? I mean, it just all falls apart so quickly. Suddenly DRG's across the map, and, well, we're going to pull the SCVs to the side. That's a cute wall-off. I mean, engineering bay in the wall-off just to make sure the Lings can't really break in. I mean, that's going to save you for a little while here at the very least. So credit to ByuN. Quick thinking, good plan in terms of how he's going to deal with those Zerglings coming through. Wow, that was... could have been so much worse. So yeah, good effort from ByuN to keep himself safe at least. And otherwise, just going to be seeing our CC continuing up in the natural expansion. And yeah, I mean, if these Reapers are still alive, these Lings never come across the map, I just feel a bit better. Now DRG knows there's no threat to him because everything else is slowed down from ByuN. And so he's just droned the last few moments. 56 to the 40 workers now. So he's really opened up the worker difference since it was 30 versus 30. So that's why DRG now starts to get back into there a little bit. There's going to be seeing our melee upgrades continuing through. That's something which ByuN doesn't have yet, upgrades. He has got an armory, though, looking for the Hellbats to come across with these Marines. Now, that's where the Baneling Nest is going to come into play, right? A few Banelings to help out with the Hellbats, which are going to come with this. So, expecting to see a little bit of that right now, as Marines are actually going to drop and get a few Lings. Now, the Lings are actually going to go for a surround. Now the Hellions show up, and that's a lot of Lings given up for free. That's a mistake. That's definitely not meant to be going down like that, so that's a little bit of a shame. Mistake from DRG. He morphs in a Banelings as he sees the Hellions as well, and I think he realizes, this has potential to be dangerous, so we'll just get the Banelings working, and so he should be somewhat well prepared to deal with this. Let's see, our Marines moving on to creep spread. Army supply a little bit in favor of ByuN right now as these Banelings will start to run through. Just letting the Hellbats tank though, and doing a very good job of it. Only a couple Banes left, and now the target fire can come into play. A lot more Banes from up the ramp will start to come through as well. ByuN will get one, and he'll just lift up and leave. He realizes it's not worth sticking around, but not a bad little trade from ByuN. It's just the fact that DRG is defending this with 1-1 upgrades and with 73 drones. You know, he's just got so much already in play in this game. That's going to just put him into a perfect little setup here, and that's the real concern. That's the problem. That can ByuN really deal with what is now going to be a macro machine of DRG. We'll get this Overlord, and DRG will be supply blocked. So that's something, at least, again. This is where ByuN obviously can find some damage in these drops and so on that will be able to be very effective. So being effective with the drops, doing some damage here and there, that's definitely going to, again, continue to help for now. As you see the attack over here, just going to lift off again, and yeah, I don't hate it, right? If you're going to do something in this game, drop around, find some openings, get a couple units. I mean, DRG is just going to go hardcore drop defense. All of these Spore Crawlers basically just saying, nuh-uh, you're not going to get a chance to really come into my base at all, so DRG is going hard on the defense there, as the Widow Mine doesn't get to go off. This Widow Mine, retargeting, I assume, is... A couple go down without doing much. These upgrades are still 0-0, but just a few more moments for ByuN, so I was imagining that what probably was not helping is now at least going to be 1-1, so it's equal upgrades until 2-2 kicks in for the Zerg, which is obviously not too far away. Looks like another fight here. The Medevac playing a dangerous game, going for the pickup, but does get those units out of there. It's going to be lifted up. Medevac's just going to escape away, and we will see these Medevacs continue to skid away out to the bottom side. Just going to be away for now. DRG on his way to the Hydras as well, so buffing up that Ling Bane composition too, with something a little bit more sturdy behind it all, so it's not just the Ling Bane. Again, just another reason to kind of like where DRG is at right now. Just again, feels like everything continues to fall into place for him to some extent as these few Marines now go down. He's actually just going to start attacking in here. These Widow Mines, that's an interesting one. Burrow just wanted to move away from the initial Banes. The next Widow Mine shot was good, and that one fired after it died, and actually got a good connection as well. The Widow Mines maybe saving ByuN a little bit, but he's going to have a lot of SCVs going down, and now he eats a Baneling shot on the front of the natural, and that's going to be bad. He loses a lot of SCVs, and that might be the damage that's irrecoverable here. That's going to be seen. Our Marines continue to pull back, jumping in and out of the bunker. Another couple of Banes connecting. And DRG takes a 50 supply lead. He gets the damage done in the end. I think specifically hitting the SCV line, where it's not like ByuN's on 4 bases and a ton of workers or anything. He's not in a super comfortable worker position, so killing 25 SCVs really does slow him down a lot, and really does have a rather large impact at this stage of the game. Marines load up, and the medevac just going to boost away. Holding Bane just continuing around. Obviously, ByuN at this point probably just thinks, well, I kind of got to bunker up a little bit and just defend back at home, just sort of play super, mega defense mode, and just kind of wait for him to hopefully make a mistake, attack into me, and get some really good mine shots or so, but it even feels like with some good trades, ByuN is going to be in a lot of trouble here and struggling to really make much else happen. The command center and additional barracks are going through at the moment, and just going to be seeing ByuN back to dropping just a few Marines, not even a full medevac here, as you will get 1, 2, 3 drones lifted up, and again just trying to chip away at whatever you can find. DRG just going to be clearing out some rocks and opening attack paths into the Terran side of the map as well, so that just continues too, and that's obviously kind of the expectation at this stage as well, right? So not really too surprising, in all honesty. It's going to be just a few units behind, and, well, there's still a lot of units. DRG actually looking to jump on a ByuN that moved forward there for a moment or so. But you see now the Lurker Den coming through and the Infestation Pit setting up for the Hive. I was going to say the one thing I feel was missing for DRG was just the later game tech, just because he's in a good enough position, as this is a horrible fight for DRG, my goodness. The Widow Mines are finally connected on the Marines. If those Widow Mines hadn't hit the bio units, he would have actually just been killing everything. That choke point was horrendous, and I have no idea what urged DRG to attack through there. I mean, he's got enough to make it work out, but any less of a lead, and it would not have been that situation. DRG does take game number 1 off of ByuN, and the team NV will get the lead over the undefeated Shopify Rebellion. So, it'll be comfortable to play that. As we count on in. And in the bottom right hand side, our blue Terran player is from the Shopify Rebellion, ByuN. Taking on the top left red Zerg from Team NV, it is DRG. Alright, big game number 2. If you fall behind 2-0 as the Shopify Rebellion, then I gotta say that I'm a little bit worried for you, right? I feel like at that stage it's a little bit concerning. This map's a lot of fun for its size, and the way it works, just the rotations that are available in this map makes it very fun to play. You know, Zergs don't super hate it, Terrans do kind of like it for the size, in fact, but not all Zergs will kind of straight up veto this, like Raynor will play this in a best of 3, for example, a lot of the time. So yeah, it's kind of a fun map, fairly open as well, so what you kind of lack in size as the Zerg, you do get an openness and potential to engage in that way, so a lot of that then comes down to how you like to play. I think for ByuN, he likes to play very aggressively and very fast-paced. He likes the size of the map, and he likes to be able to just push across quickly and have the lack of, time moving across for his opponent to set up defenses, etc. So yeah, I think this for me is a very much so like, yeah, a bit of a Terra map, but absolutely a ByuN map, you know. Really plays into his sort of style very well. and hence makes sense why you would pick it. I'm going to drop a factory down to the main base. Lings and queens continue through, and obviously our early game is pretty peaceful. Looks as though we are just going to take a 3cc here as well from ByuN. I say the second he takes a second gas, actually, so scrap that. Second gas coming down, and some intrigue then from ByuN as he will ramp up the aggression early in the game. Obviously from here, I mean, Hellbats are a possibility, as you saw at the start point. I mean, going into like Cloak Banshees are a possibility. I think Banshee is the most likely situation. Obviously, you're in a position here right now where you are playing somebody who is potentially, you know, can build roaches on a very small map. So Banshee is just a very safe way to play. As we actually make 2 Marines and 1 Hellion before we do any sort of swapping around. Maybe Tech Lab on the factory and we keep Marine production going. And we just start a second Hellion. Wow. Is this then some kind of just medevac Marine little Hellion? It's just so weird to not see the Hellions be the reacted unit, right? That's just not the norm at all. There's a couple of them come around. It won't be Banshee right away. It could still be a medevac into a Banshee afterwards as a follow-up, or just for a bit of safety even. Or maybe just at that point we'll know whether or not he really needs it, and then he can, you know, not commit or commit however he feels. Medevac will be done soon, and just going to be having the next Hellion popped out as well. So that's coming across the map here shortly. Factory going to move over, and we'll take the reactor. I'm so intrigued by this build. Just, yeah, it's very intriguing. 7 Marine drop, a few Hellions. Link speed not done yet, by the way, so keep that in mind as this bit of aggression comes across the map. Maybe this is something of a setup here from ByuN that is based around the idea that his opponent doesn't really like playing into that kind of faster link speed because he likes to play that fast third hatchery. Of course, then you also have a lot of queens up to defend, so... Armory is now on the way, these Marines unload in the main, so it's kind of like a delayed Hellbat attack. You go Hellbats after you put on some other pressure, and these drones in the main base are going to have to start running. If you lose drones now, it's going to disrupt your preparation for the Hellbats as we start to go for a queen. I think the medevac being saved is very important here, and half HP is a little scary, right? Because now it's already weakened, setting up into the next attack or so. Hellions moving onto the map. There is the Cloak Banshee on the follow-up. You got a Creep Teamer over on the side, and I guess mostly still just interested about whether this can really do much. Bane Nest not ready. Again, medevac low HP, and the Hellbat's now morphing in. Gonna find an Overload on the front. That would supply block DRG, so that's a nice kill if he gets it, but he pulls back away from the queens. I think he's just afraid of how much is here. He'll morph in 2 more Hellbats. The Ling's actually going around the right side. They are straight up counter-attacking. And there was a couple of Hellions back at home, and he's going to see that those Lings are counter-attacking, so the Hellions will start to run, and good kiting should be able to deal with that. Now the Banshee coming across still has a lot of those Hellbats on the map, as, oh, the Hellions got into an awkward spot in the end, just getting surrounded and going down, unfortunately. And there goes that medevac, so there goes the healing potential in this. Well, that means the Spore Crawler is maybe not really necessary, right? Because the Spore Crawler is kind of there to kind of deal with the medevac, although it also helps against the Banshee. Going between the bases and stuff, as right now Banshee will not reveal itself. And ByuN just trying to maintain some of his unit counter here. DRG defending this off 60 drones, so his economy is looking fantastic, and that's got to be a concern that our economy is already looking so good, because ByuN has really not done much about it just yet. And okay, he's actually going to have a really good time with this Banshee. He gets 5 workers as DRG didn't... Well, he did pull the drones back, but he keeps letting them go back here without actually then having a response to the Banshee still, so... 6 drones having to pull multiple times, and that's something at least to bring ByuN a little bit back into the worker game, so that's a good step forward for sure. Just going to be seeing our couple of other Banshees making their way around this left-hand side. They're going to cloak up, and together we'll just take down a Creep Teamer. There is a Spore Crawler there, so not much you can really do overall here. An Overseer Morphin obviously important, as, I mean, getting the Creep Tumors is nice. Just energy the Queens have to spend. The Queens don't have a ton of energy due to having transfused a bit earlier. So Overlord surviving again would have been, I mean, DRG is actually already supply block. Bad supply block too, waiting for a hatchery to finish to free up his supply. That's actually a really, really bad supply block. I mean, his upgrade's already started as well, so he's just going to float money. No doubt about it. So yeah, that's definitely a bit of a shame, bit of a macro error, and something which will be fairly costly there initially. It's going to be seeing the orbital in the main. So we actually have 4 bases. Wow. So ByuN goes like mega eco behind us with a 4th CC. That's kind of interesting. That means he's going to have a ton of SCVs, extra mules to usual, and of course a lot of scans available as well. So he's just got that little bit of a boosted economy compared to what you might usually expect him to have then. And we'll see what comes of it as the Banshees find themselves a queen going into the main. And then we'll come through for multiple drones around the back of the base here. I think that Banshee is dead. And he actually just lets the other one sit there as well. Tries to go for a couple more drones. A mixture of success on that story. Marines and tanks through the center of the map and moving around the left-hand side, getting themselves into position, waiting for their next opportunity to shine during all of this. As at the moment, I've got to say, not much really happening on DRG's side. 10 meters are on the way. Once they're out, sure, that's going to be exciting, but until they're out, I mean, and even as they pop, might be in some trouble. Didn't start his own 2-2 upgrade, so ByuN will take a 2-2 upgrade lead now as well. Also going to be seeing a couple tanks sieging and unsieging, figuring out what they want to do. The DRG already have the bottom left base as he's taking 4th and 5th at the same time. It's quite common to take, especially if you get slowed down a little bit, to take your 5th base quite quickly, as you know, because basically you'd be better off. You may as well take a macro hatchery if not. So basically the idea is you just take a 4th and a 5th base at the same time. And then one of them acts as a macro hatchery, even if you don't use it as a as a place to mine from. But then you also have the benefit of, if one of them goes down, you have the other to mine from anyway, right? So it's not too uncommon to see DRG taking those bases somewhat in sync or very close to each other. The drones between the bases, taking a little bit of a nibble. Bane is coming down here to try and protect. We've got the Marines still pushing forward here, and, well, we see the mutas have not made it across the map yet for any harassment, so trying to do that at the moment. We're just going to be seeing our Ling muta force chasing down these Marines, and just going to be seeing more Marines gathering up back on the bottom right-hand side. So just getting in over here to make something happen. We continue through these Marines, and again, the creep spread is just non-existent, and it's definitely a concern for DRG. He has to fight this at some stage. His counterattacks aren't doing anything. And it feels like ByuN does have some very good control on this game right now. Looking to take this to a 1-1 series between the Shopify Rebellion and Team NV. Big fight right now for DRG. He needs to win out in this. ByuN pulls up the ramp off creep. Banelings just do not connect. Too much firepower from the Marines, and for now that will do it. That will be a defense from ByuN, and he holds this position. And that means that this pressure pretty much just continues to come on through, and that's obviously very frustrating. That's not what you want to have happening from DRG's perspective. All of these Marines just going to ramp on through and just going to keep on pressing forward a little bit. The Lings and the Banes and the Queens starting to run on forward here. Here come our Mutalisks as well, so moving on through this. Tanks taking some of the damage. Widowmine goes off to weaken the Mutas, and the Mutas now fly into the Marines, trying to hit the Medivacs for a moment there. And this is going to be ByuN with just a little bit too much, unless these Banelings get spectacular connections. ByuN is running away from them, and this is GG as you see the Mutas just committing in hard. That will do it, and ByuN gets the 1-1 scoreline for the Shopify Rebellion to tie it up with Team NV. Great Lambo. All right. Top right-hand side, our blue pro display here is Creator. And in the bottom left, our red Zerg player is Lambo from the Shopify Rebellion. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm pretty sure this is a replay. Nope, it's not. They are live. Okay, they are live. Alright, cameras are on. It is indeed live. I was just surprised by how quickly we went from one match to the next match. Because I just saw the game end on the other screen, so I stopped the recording. and this game just started instantly, but I guess there's a bit of stream delay on... Well, honestly, a bit of stream delay on either side. I still think one of them was from replays. I actually think I think the next series was from replays, but... I think the next series was from replays, but they didn't want to start this series until it had finished because they probably wanted to make it not seem like they're both broadcasting the same play at the same time, and that's probably something the Chinese organizations talked about and discussed and figured out. That's my new theory, guys. That's my new theory in how this played out. But maybe they were both... I honestly don't understand how they can both be live. I don't think it was possible for Lambo to finish that series and to start here as quickly as it did. I don't think it's possible. Alright. In we go. So in the bottom left, Red Zerg is Lambo. Top right, our blue Protoss is Creator. No worries, guys. I'm not. I didn't really want to like you guys timed out or anything. I just delayed your message just in case someone replied and stuff, and just to stop other people talking about it a little bit. I appreciate you guys don't necessarily know. I'm just trying my best to keep my eyes clean from the scoreline. All right, we get set up here. Stargate is coming down from Creator as we get this PvZ underway. So kicking this off, as we have our Cyber Core coming through with a little bit of warp gate action. And yeah, just going to be seeing the link speed coming through on the other side as well. It's the link speed coming up, and Lambo just getting himself ready, pretty standard so far. Of course, Lambo likes a lot of his aggressive PvZ, but this is a large map. This is not an easy one to queen walk on, so I do wonder if we maybe end up seeing something later game focused here. Creator definitely does not mind playing some later game PvZ, and we've seen him play some pretty good PvZ as of late as well, so maybe something for us to watch out for. Maybe something to watch out for, but we're actually going to start off with the Twilight Council now. His Overlord wants to scout. Unfortunately, it's going to get killed by the Void Ray before he gets to see anything, so he'll see the second gate going down, and as he moves into the main, he'll die, and he will not get to see the Twilight Council, so you do not quite get to figure out the exact opening here or so. Those couple links continuing up to the top side as well, trying just get more scouting right, trying to pick up as much info as possible, getting a read on the third base timing perhaps, how quickly you might want to be taking that. This is all information that Lambo can put together to try and figure out exactly what's going on from his opponent. Just going to be seeing this continuing through as we get this setting up. Resonating Glaive is obviously coming through then, and we'll see if Lambo can get prepared for that accordingly here in the next few moments. Let's get this ready to rumble. So, and set up a little bit here. Just going to be seeing our couple lings getting picked away at. And again, Lambo just trying to pick up as much info as he can with that now. He has gotten on more drones. He's going to get up to 56 or so. He needs to stop droning soon to make sure he has the units to deal with this. To get that set up. Voidra heading down to the bottom left-hand corner. And obviously a second Stargate now starting up as well, so getting the second Stargate underway, and a third Stargate. So depths into more Stargates is the plan. Lambo went all the way up to 61 drones, start some roaches right now. I'm a little worried about what he has to actually defend this first round of Adepts. Queen Show going to push the Void Ray back, but the Adepts are going to start shading around. I feel like he has nothing ready to deal with this first round of Adepts here, as the Adepts shade through. Just going to jump onto The natural expansion, a couple of roaches already being picked away at, and they will go down immediately, and that's the issue with starting the roaches up. When this attack is already here, they're just going to start spawning, you know, one or two at a time, and then they get picked off, and that's not really good preparation at all. Quite a few drones going down, and Lambo might be in some trouble. I think this is a really tough series if Lambo is not going to find a 2-0 for the Shopify Rebellion, because obviously then Scarlet has to take maps off of Maru no matter what, and that's going to be rough. Not impossible, but definitely not the easy situation, right? Not the easy way to play forward from us. These Adepts are going to cancel their shading. We're just continuing to fight and just going to be seeing this fight continue to go down. Adepts going to get picked away at here. So Adepts continue to get picked away at a few drones, so getting shaded onto again. Free workers going down at the moment. We'll see, this is just adding up to be a bit too much. When you continue to run drones around for this amount of time, right, it's just way too much damage. And Creator obviously building voids behind this. The preparation for this void race is going to be pretty much null because, well, you've been dealing with these Adepts for way too long. So, looks like Creator is looking good to get the first map here off of Lambo, and that's going to be, well, yeah, kind of rough. Lambo's going to start walking the Queens across the map, which probably is the best case scenario for him right now because, let's face it, he's not really in the position to play the economy game, so yeah, has not really got much of a choice in all honesty as to what to do. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, Creator should be prepped for this, right? All he needs to do is survive, and he should very much so know that. He's got multiple batteries built, and he is not messing around. It seems like it's very obvious that he is very aware of what needs to be done to keep this going. And, yeah, looks pretty good. I mean, Creator just served into the Stargate so soon after the Adepts were... Honestly, they did, for how many Adepts there were and how much it was committed to, it was just outstanding damage, really. And that makes it all the more painful that Lambo took it. Well, Queen's coming in, Void's taking some damage as we try to just sneak on further forward here with these Roaches, Ravagers, Zerglings. Trying to get up the ramp and to get involved a little bit. Voids are going to start fighting. The battery is a bit further back, so they obviously want to be a little bit more closer to those, as Lambo will do what he can with this counterattack, but again, it's not really looking hopeful. Roach Ravagers continuing through. I'm just going to be seeing a few corrosive vials continue to drop on down, so a few vials continuing in. I mean, again, Voiders are going to activate here to, well, I thought they were going to take on the Roaches, but then they cancelled it right away. Maybe just wants to avoid vials. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it really matters. You can just see that Lambo's numbers are dropping, and Creator's staying pretty stable here. Super Battery's doing some good healing, and we're just working our way through these numbers. GG well played, and Creator is going to take the first map of this PvZ to put Team NV back into the lead. 2-1 in the lead now. All right. Load on in. Welcome to map 4 of the Shopify Rebellion versus Team NV. Bottom right hand side of the map, our Blue Protoss player is Creator. Top left, Lambo from the Shopify Rebellion. That 8-0 record so far. In danger right now, I would say. Again, it's been an undefeated season for the Shopify Rebellion up until this point. But nothing lasts forever, right? They do have really tough matches these next couple weeks, Shopify. But again, the big storyline is the fact that maybe they've just opened up enough of a gap between themselves and the rest of the competition that that they can still, I think they guaranteed at least top 2 in the league no matter what. I feel like with even an extra point or something going their way somewhere else, they're guaranteed that they can get first place in the league, and that obviously means they just start the league in the grand finals. When it comes to the playoffs work in a gauntlet style. First place starts in the grand finals, second place starts in the semi-final, third place starts a round before that, fourth place a round before that, fifth place the round before that, and the first match of the playoffs is 6th place versus 7th place of the group standings. That takes place on January 7th, 8th, and 9th, by the way, so the start of the new year will be full of StarCraft action. Very excited for it. that's my birthday weekend. My birthday's on the 7th, so we're going to celebrate the Wardy birthday with some World Team League playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a ton of fun. What does the NV of Team NV stand for? I think it stands for Team No Victory brackets for you. The for you is silent. They don't stand up to it all the time, but they live up to it sometimes. I don't know. What do you guys think Team NV stands for? I think it's just Team NV. I don't even know if there is a phrase for it. It's a Korean team, so it'd be kind of weird if they had like an English name that was like that really had like a meaning behind NV. Team No. I don't know. What starts with a V? V's a tough ladder to work with. The only ones I can think of are kind of BM, like Team No Value. It's like, well, I don't think that's true. Team No Victories. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Envy? Yeah, but I feel like there's already Team Envy, right? Like, Envy's already a team. I don't feel like they're just going to be like, oh yeah, let's copy this already well-established esports organization. I feel like that's not a cool... I feel like that's not a way to play. Because I know there is a team called Envy. But I don't think, like I said, they're not... You know, it would just be so weird to be like, oh yeah, we're going to make a team. Let's take one of the biggest teams in esports and take their name. Right? Like, it's just illogical. Right? Surely. Surely. Or am I mad? Maybe I'm just mad. Glaives, 3 extra gates, all coming up right now from Creator, so he's just straight up setting up for that aggression. Already showing us exactly where he wants to be at and what he wants to be doing. So yeah, Creator is going to be straight up, not even messing around with the Stargate this time to begin with. That does mean, though, on the other side, that we've got ourselves a Lambo who's kind of aware of what's going on this time around, right? So that's good news. He's got a bit of an idea as to what's happening, so he's not going to be as in the dark as before. The Stalker is going to get that Overlord in a second and take that down. As these Adepts start to shade onto the map, Lambo's going to catch a few of them, and oh, he goes in to chase the shade as well, so nice little play initially, and fighting like that before the Glaives is ready, obviously, is always going to be effective, so yeah, Creator in a bit of a weird place, because he can't get a warp in right now, because these Lings are going to sit underneath the prism, so if he can't warp in, what's he meant to do? Well, he starts to build an Immortal back at home, which suggests that he's just going to give up on the initial attack and is already thinking about the future, but yeah, I mean, this is going to be majorly slowed down. Lambo's preparation will be huge for this, and okay, I don't know if the Roach needs to be out in the middle of the map, but yeah, just already building Roaches, obviously doing this off the back of the gold base. Very normal to see that gold base be set up, right, a lot of the time, and Berserk to take that, which is why I've not made a big deal of it. This is just kind of the normal pride of Altars, but it does mean that off a lower work count you have a better economy than usual, so again, a good reason to kind of continue through. And a good reason why I might be able to defend this with cutting the workers early, and like I say, with Immortals on the way, it definitely feels like Creator is thinking about either the follow-up or maybe even just the future, maybe even just the kind of the future attack that he has to deal with as well. It's kind of possible it goes either way, right? Like, if he feels like Lambo's going to come across the map aggressively at him, then yeah, having those units prepped to, you know, those Immortals prepped to defend is going to be pretty big. He does stop the third. It's just a question of, is that actually a real third base? Was that maybe used as a bit of a fake out? Because that's always going to be a question mark in these situations, right? It's always one of those things which you never really know the answer for until the Protoss really kind of reveals exactly what they're doing. But he is making probes, so I think it is looking as though that third base is going to be utilized with a couple of Mortals to defend. And Lambo now just setting up into his lair, his Baneling Nest, and all the rest of it to keep this moving. Just saw a bunch of Fs in the chat. I don't think that's even on me, guys. I think that's just on Twitch, because I didn't drop any frames or anything. My stream was still fine live, so sorry, I'm not sure. Anyways, this fight's about to happen as Adepts come in. Lings and Roach is going to go for a bit of a play. Then the Immortals here, so this is aggression in the end. He only went to 44 workers. He didn't drone past the 3-base economy as Lambo. Does he have the units to deal with this? 55 drones, still the gold-based economy. He's going to start getting some damage on those Immortals. Force them up into the Prism. The Adepts have shaded to the natural, where Lambo's just not really in position. So now, finally, the positioning of the gold kind of being used against Lambo, because he's got to go running drones away from there, and that's going to be frustrating. Just going to be seeing the Adepts still there fighting, man. He's just going to kill so many drones. This really went bad all of a sudden, huh? This attack came in from Creator, and Lambo apparently just was not prepared for it, and yeah, taking way too much damage. I mean, 27 drones. Now he's only got 28 drones left. And Creator's on his way to blink and stuff as well. 2 more gates. Okay, he's cut the worker count, but he's still keeping the tech rolling on out. And Creator looking as though he's going to get the 2-0 here, which is going to be pretty big deal. Lambo all falling apart today in the ZVP for him. Not going his way at all. A matchup usually he's very dominant in. This time, not looking so good, as we're going to be seeing. Oh, 9 drones going down. The Roach is coming around the other side. Adepts shading around. Lambo has to GG out, and that just means that Team NV are set up in a perfect position. Creator is hyped to get a 2-0. Yeah, Team NV in a great position now to win this series. Scarlet needs a 2-0 Maru to stop it from happening.